Welcome to Breaking News Wahala. The news this hour: a woman who attended a Catholic church in Port Harcourt and also was a church member was pronounced a transgender after she had died on a keke napep accident earlier this week in Port Harcourt City in Rivers State. The news was gathered that Ada Olisa was her name, whose birth name was Emanuela Wolisa, had been revealed to have been attending a certain Catholic church for several years, and only for the Catholic church to find out that the woman they were about to wed with an unnamed man was a trans woman. This has called for different controversial talk. Should LGBTQ members be allowed? Should transgender marriage be allowed in Catholic churches? What should happen? Should they start searching men and women who attend these churches to find out if they are who they claim they are? What are the limits to the abuse of LGBTQ rights in religious sectors and religious environment? With me is Kelechi Marvelous Achafo, and I still remain your reporter Chimreze H. Ahonaya. So welcome back, viewers. As you can see from that video, Ada Olisa was a Catholic member who attended a said Catholic church for several years. She was even committed to the extent where she was a choir member and she sang soprano. She had in the Catholic church wedding bells with an unnamed individual. Now, during the course of her death, we had different stories that a certain father, a certain reverend father from a different parish came to her parish church for, exchange of parishioners, and stated there is a woman, there is a man dressed as a woman in this church, and out of anger Ada Olisa stood up and walked out of the service, and it was on that said day that she got involved in the keke accident. That is one version of the story we have, and we'll be having different people come on Kiru Talk to explain and tell their tales of how they had different experiences with Ada Olisa. But we need again with Kelechi. Kelechi, what do you have to say concerning this whole story? What do you think? Do you think that the Catholic Church has become so toxic for LGBTQ members? Not just the Catholic Church, maybe the church in general is so toxic for queer people.
What I have to say concerning this story is the fact that when you live in a deceptive world and you live in a world where you cannot be yourself, then these are the kind of things that you have. So this is a story that is quite shocking and confusing at the same time. Shocking, confusing, mystical. And I would really love to see the end of this story, but because I'm neither close to Emanuela's family, nor the husband's family, nor the church, nor anywhere, so I know that it's going to be extremely hard to get the end of it. So all we can do is just guess and guess and guess, and I hope somebody who is closer can maybe one day see this video.
I rather not use the word guess, but I rather us use the word analyze and assume.
Yeah, analyze. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Analyze, assume, guess. There's still a line between all of them. It's still a thin line. But I just hope that somebody who is close to this, like closer to home and closer to the information, can one day reach out to us, maybe me or you, and we'll be able to speak or maybe comment on our YouTube channel. I'll be able to ask for some details. First of all, I'm rather shocked that the day, because she completed a traditional marriage before the white marriage, and there have been rumors that the husband-to-be had no idea. I found that absolutely almost impossible. Maybe it's just trying to see face. Maybe it's just, I found that almost when things come outside in the open, because I find it surprising that how would you not have known or suspected or have a clue, and you did the traditional marriage, went down. I find that rather impossible to believe. I don't know why, but let me call it hard. Let me not say it's impossible, because there might still be some quote and unquote decent men who do not see the women's wickedness when they get married.
No, but Mr. Kelechi, let me stop you right there. How are they going to get how are they going to have sex? let me just use that word. How are they going to get intimate if she wasn't open to him? He was going to find out, and what did she expect? Has she gone through the surgery? For us to know that she identified as a man, was a man dressed as a woman, it means she had not gone through the biological surgery. So it is impossible to
Is that,
see
are you
her
sure that is
husband.
verified?
It is not verified, but it was said in her death, it was
I feel
revealed
like
that
she
she
has gone
was
through
a
the
man.
surgery.
So how
I
on
feel like
earth
she
did
has
they,
gone through
if
the
she had
surgery
gone through the surgery, how did they know she was a man?
because they dug out old Facebook proof or photos of when she was a man. She was last active in that account. I think maybe okay, maybe it did not reach like to that extent, but I think they dug out. So what happened was that they dug out photo. Maybe she died, so they were like obituary of that photo, and people, maybe one person before the one person shared to one person said, "Oh, this person looks like this person," and they dug out photos of a Facebook account from that has been last active in 2021, which was her. So she stopped using her mail account in 2021. So she changed her name. She used to be a pharmacist when she was a he, when she was still a man. She used to be a pharmacist, worked at a pharmaceutical company, studied I think medicine and there's that thing. So she know that this person was someone that at least were in a well-to-do career path. So probably because of the identity, sexual identity, she had to risk everything else. So she changed her entire identity, and it was easier for it to be done because she had feminine features already, according to people. So that said, some of the eyewitnesses that gave the account, or some of the people said it was not, you could never have guessed it because she had a feminine voice, she had a feminine walk, she had feminine features, feminine everything, but both physically, socially, uh, emotionally, and everything. So everything was feminine. So it worked good for them. Only it was when she died that actually people that were close to her, very family and friends, began to leak pictures, Facebook pictures of her previous account where she was a man, which shocked everybody, including the church, because she was even a chorister among the church. I think she was even as high as one of the, I think, assistant choir master. She was a chorister in church. I don't know the position she was, but she was. That's how strong she was in the church. So that's why it was very, very confusing and shocking for a lot of people. But for the husband, or husband to be rather, the fiancé, I just find that almost impossible to believe. Because no matter how, you would know something. So I felt like everything he's saying that he doesn't know might just be to save face. That's what thing that makes the case very, very shocking and very, very surprising to me. And two, it's also the fact that people are also saying that it's not as if I don't know yet, but I still wish for more details to come outside. It doesn't look as if she didn't switch cities or switch states rather. Maybe she switched cities. That's agree. Maybe she moved from like Port Harcourt to Ughelli or something else. But I didn't feel like she switched states. So I found that there are lots of things there, Chimeris, that doesn't just add up for me. That I'm just trying to piece the pieces up together. Like, oh, how can this not add up? How does this not add up? How does this not join together? Family members would have come out, people, but I just feel like I don't know because it feels like a lot of some people knew something about it, but decided to wait till when maybe she passed on before they got it at. But it just shows that I think the bottom line for me in just everything is the fact of how people are willing to go to cut out their source of livelihood, to cut out their career, to change career paths, because you could have a fantastic career in medicine, becoming a pharmacist, and he was earning so much money at that time, and maybe because he could have continued on that career path and got to something good for himself, but decided to switch to even change churches, become a chorister, and said become an entrepreneur just because of the kind of sexual identity you wanted, that what she felt that she wanted to be. It just shows how strong sexual identity is. It just shows how strong sexual orientation is. And I feel like the government and people who are in power, people who can make things, change things a lot, should look into this because it truly shows how emotionally attached. But people feel like, oh, it's a choice, it's a choice. But imagine somebody choosing to become lesser than they are just because they want to live a life that they feel like will make them happier, just because they want to be who they are that makes them happy. But that's just what I pick up from this. But other things, the fiance's part, the family and friends part, the church part, everything is still rather a mystery and a religion. But that's just the most thing I pick up from the story. Yeah, over to you, Chinese.
That is it for the story. If you do have more details, please write to us at QRotalkNG@gmail.com. Our Gmail account is active and we want to hear. Please also comment underneath this video what you think. As a queer person, do you feel a queer religious person, do you feel you need a safe space? Do you feel what can be done for queer people of faith to assist and help them? Do you feel where you worship is safe enough for you? Why do you still attend a very homophobic church as a queer person? We want to know what your thoughts are on this matter, and thank you for watching. This has been Breaking News Wahala. Stay tuned, subscribe, and tell your friends, tell your family members.